35. If the volume of component B in the liquid mixture is 1 milliliter, what is the total volume in milliliters of the liquid mixture? Okay. So if the volume of component B in the liquid mixture is 1, so the volume of this is 1, what is the total volume? Well, we're told in the table that this percent is the percent of the mixture that is component B. So if 25% of the total, I'll call that T, is 1, I can just solve this and I can just make that 0.25. You might just be able to tell that, okay, if 1 is 25% of the total, then the total must be 4. But either way you slice it, whether you want to set up the equation and solve it or just kind of do it intuitively, you'll get 4. If the numbers were uglier, like if it was 13% or something, then you'd have to do the equation. In which case, again, to show that setup, 25% of the total mixture is B. So I just essentially translate that. 25%, 0.25, of means multiply. The mixture total, which we're calling T, is 1, equals 1. And so if I solve that, I get 4. 36. The procedure was applied to a new sample of 9 mils of the liquid mixture to extract C. Due to the loss of volume from the procedure, the extracted volume of C was only 90% of the original volume of the component. What was the extracted volume of the component C in milliliters? So we're starting with 9 milliliters in the mixture, of which 20% is C. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.20. That gets me 1.8 milliliters. That's how much C is in the mixture to start. But when I extract it, I only get 90% out. I lose 10%. So I'm going to, in turn, multiply my 1.8 times 0.9, and that's going to tell me, what's 90% of 0.8? That's how much is extracted. So I get 1.62, and that's my answer. 37, I'm going to multiply these functions and get that thing. And what's the value of B? So let's just write out x squared plus bx. We're going to multiply that by 3x squared minus 9x. That's a little annoying, but I'm just going to FOIL these and then try to match it with what they say the result is. So 3x squared times x squared is 3x to the 4th minus 9x cubed plus 3bx cubed minus 9bx squared. Okay. This is going to be set equal to 3x to the 4th minus 8x cubed minus 3x squared. So the key here is to see that corresponding terms have got to equal. We see that the 3x to the 4th terms are equal on each side. Let's ignore the x cubed terms for a minute because it's easier to see that my x squared terms have got to be the same, which means that negative 9b has got to equal negative 3. And that happens when b is 1/3. And so that's your answer. Now, if you wanted to do the other one, if you want to do x cubed, you would need to see that this sum of terms must equal negative 8x. So in other words, or negative 8x cubed. In other words, the coefficients negative 9 plus 3b must end up equaling negative 8 so that those terms are equivalent. And if I solve that, again, I get b as 1/3. So that's your answer. 38, we have this mirror with these dimensions. The area of the mirror with the border is 35. So I know the length times the width of this is 35. What is the width in feet of the border? So I know as well the width here is of the mirror is 3 and 5. So the interior dimensions are 3 and 5. Now, what are going to be the dimensions then of the frame? Well, to each side of the width, I'm adding, as we can see, an x. So this total width must be 3 plus the 2 x's that I've added. And similarly, I'm adding an x and x here. So the total length must be 5 plus 2x. And we know the area is 35, so I can say 3 plus 2x times 5 plus 2x. It's got to equal 35. And so now this is a quadratic that I just need to solve. So we'll FOIL. We get 15 plus 16x plus 4x squared equals 35. Bring the 35 over. I get this. And luckily, this can reduce. I can divide both sides by 4 just to simplify this. So I get x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. We'll go ahead and factor. X plus 5, x minus 1. And when I solve that, I only get one answer that's possible, which is the positive one. and that's 1.